Today, we're taking an incredible journey through time to Japan in the year 1610 during the Tokugawa era to live one full day as a real samurai. We'll discover what the life of a warrior following the Bushido code was truly like, how he trained, ate, served his daimyo, and even wrote poetry. And we'll also take a closer look at the Hollywood movie 47 Ronin, starring Keanu Reeves, to separate fact from fiction. You're watching Alt History. Let's begin. Our hero is Shinji, a 25-year-old Ashigaru samurai, one of the 400,000 warriors of the Tokugawa Ieyasu era. Ashigaru were lower-ranking foot soldiers, often archers, without horses or heavy armor. Unlike the elite mounted samurai, we're in Higo Prefecture, near the castle of Daimyo Cng. It's 4 a.m., the sun is just rising, and the silence is broken only by the cries of birds and the creaking of the castle gates. Shinji wakes up on a tatami mat in a modest house. No soft mattress, no pillow, just a straw mat and a hard wooden or ceramic headrest. The first thing Shinji does is meditate in the Zen Buddhist style. But this isn't just relaxation. Samurai believed that death could come at any moment, and fearing it made a warrior weak. Meditation prepares the mind for battle, helps control emotions, and keeps one calm even amid chaos. Fun fact, Zen Buddhism came to Japan from China in the 12th century, and samurai adopted it to sharpen their minds. Imagine sitting in silence before a battle, knowing you might not return. Yet instead of panicking, you seek inner peace. That's the true strength of Bushido. After meditation comes hygiene. Shinji washes himself with cold water from a wooden bucket, even in winter. Bushido demands purity of both body and spirit. He then checks his chonmaji, the traditional samurai hairstyle with the top of the head shaved and the back tied into a tight knot. It's not just a fashion statement, it symbolizes discipline and social status. A messy chômage is a disgrace for a warrior. He puts on a light linen kimono, everyday clothing, since heavy armor is reserved for battle or ceremonies. As an Ashigaru archer, Shinji's armor is a leather chest guard strong enough to stop an arrow. At his waist hang two swords, a katana, about 60 to 70 centimeters, and a shorter wakizashi, 30 to 50 centimeters. Myth number 1. Not all samurai wore shining armor and carried two swords everywhere. The two swords rule applied only to the samurai class, as a symbol of their rank. But the heavy armor often seen in movies was rare, mostly used by mounted warriors of higher status. Ashigaru, like Shinji, relied more on their yumi bows than on their swords. By the way, the katana wasn't the main weapon on the battlefield until the 17th century. During great battles like Sekigahara, the key weapons were the yari spear and the yumi bow. The katana was more a symbol of status and used for close combat or ritual suicide. Question for you, which weapon do you prefer, the katana or the yumi bow? Tell us in the comments. Time for breakfast. Simple but nutritious. Rice, miso soup, pickled vegetables, and a piece of dried fish. No fancy dishes here. Shinji belongs to the lower samurai class. His salary is measured in koku. 1 koku equals 150 kilograms of rice, enough to feed one person for a year, about 400 grams per day. Shinji earns about 20 to 30 koku a year, while his daimyo might control up to 1 million koku. Let's put that into perspective. In the 1600s, one gold coin, obon, was worth 30 to 40 koku, and smaller coins, ryo, were used for lesser amounts. With 1 ryo, you could buy 750 bath visits, 214 haircuts, 158 watermelons, 278 books, 30 nights in an inn, 43 liters of sake, 140 kilograms of meat, 250 kabuki theater tickets. Myth number 2. Samurai weren't fabulously rich. Most lived modestly, though they enjoyed privileges. No taxes, the right to carry weapons, and authority over peasants. Their wealth was measured not only in rice, but also in status, honor, and skill. Fun fact, rice wasn't just food, it was currency. Daimyo paid samurai in rice, and they traded it for goods and services. But that also made them vulnerable. If a rice caravan was attacked by bandits or rival clans, a samurai could lose everything. If you were a samurai, what would you spend 1 ryo on? Sake, books, or theater tickets? Comment below. After breakfast, it's training time. At least 4 hours. Shinji starts by running barefoot over gravel or snow to harden his body. It's not just physical exercise. It's training endurance and tolerance for pain. Imagine running 5 kilometers barefoot in the freezing cold. Next comes Kyudo, the art of archery. Shinji draws his long Yumi bow and shoots targets 28 meters away. Accuracy depends not only on skill, but on inner calm. Until the 16th century, archery was even more respected than swordsmanship, since archers often decided the outcome of battles. Then comes sword training. Shinji practices kata, pre-arranged movements with the katana. His teacher shouts, "Focus!" Imagine your enemy. The strikes are fast yet graceful, emotionless. A true samurai fights coldly. Emotion is weakness. Fun fact, samurai training began in early childhood. Boys were made to sleep in cemeteries, witness executions, go hungry, or stay awake for nights, to build fearlessness and humility. Imagine being 10 years old and told, "Sleep here, but don't fear the ghosts." Myth number 3. Samurai weren't just warriors. Their education combined physical strength, spiritual discipline, and cultural refinement. They studied calligraphy, read legends, and practiced tea ceremonies. A true samurai was a warrior intellectual, able to wield both a sword and a brush. After training, Shinji goes on duty. His daimyo rules the castle and nearby town under Shogun Tokugawa Ieyasu, who unified Japan after centuries of war. Shinji patrols the area, inspects guards, and escorts rice convoys. In 1603, Tokugawa established a social hierarchy: samurai, peasants, artisans, and merchants. Samurai stood at the top and had the right to kill and walk away. They could execute anyone for dishonor or even a disrespectful glance. Myth number 4. Samurai weren't noble knights. Victory often mattered more than ceremonial honor. Losing a battle could shame an entire family line. Yet samurai also acted as judges, administrators, and mentors. In Europe, knights held similar privileges, but samurai were far more disciplined. Lunch is much like breakfast: rice, miso soup, tofu, vegetables. Afterward, Shinji might resolve disputes among peasants, check taxes, or teach younger warriors. But samurai life wasn't just about war. It was also about art. Shinji writes haiku, practices calligraphy, and plays the shakuhachi flute. Here's one of his poems. "Gentle wind in woods, the katana sleeps in peace. Honor, my true path." The tea ceremony isn't just drinking tea. It's a spiritual ritual where every motion has meaning. It teaches patience, precision, and respect. Myth number 5. Samurai weren't brutish fighters. They blended warfare with poetry, meditation, and even gardening. A man who could slay an enemy and write about the sunset. That was the ideal warrior. But what if Shinji's daimyo dies? Then he becomes a ronin, a samurai without a master. The word ronin means wave man, drifting without purpose. Ronin were social outcasts, though many admired their freedom. The movie 47 Ronin, 2013, starring Keanu Reeves, is based on a real story from 1701. Daimyo Asano Naganori attacked official Kira Yoshinaka after being insulted and was forced to commit seppuku. His 47 samurai became ronin, pretended to be drunkards, and secretly plotted revenge for 2 years. In 1703, they killed Kira, and then most of them performed seppuku by the shogun's order. Myth number 6. The movie adds fantasy, demons, magic, and Keanu's half-breed character. The real story was about honor, vengeance, and sacrifice. No dragons or sorcery. Still, the film captures the spirit of Bushido, loyalty, and the willingness to die for one's cause. Other media like Ghost of Tsushima or Samurai Champloo also mix history and fiction, showing samurai as complex individuals, not just fighters. For example, Samurai Champloo's Ronin, Mugen, is a rebellious warrior who breaks all the traditional rules of discipline. As the sun sets, Shinji ends his day with meditation. He reflects on his path, always ready to die for his lord. Being a samurai isn't just about battle. It's about discipline, solitude, and responsibility. Myth number 7. The life of a samurai wasn't romantic. It was a constant readiness for death, sacrifice, and inner struggle. Yet the principles of Bushido remain timeless: discipline, calm under stress, and loyalty to one's values. And that's the end of our day in the life of a samurai. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends. Tell us in the comments, who should we become next? A Viking, a knight, or a pirate? Or maybe there's another era you'd like us to explore. Thank you for watching Alt History. Until next time, friends.